Yo, peace, family, word is bond. Amir Hotep. Ashe. Let's get into this build today. Oneness, total solar eclipse in Leo, fiery wall of protection from evil eye, self-sabotage, jealousy, negativity, violence, and fake friends. Right? Because the moon being in Leo, the sun being in Leo, Mercury in Leo, the Jupiter is in Leo, and the South Node in Leo. Right? This is all connected to the fire energy, right? The transformation, right? This eclipse is a portal, right? And it's also symbolizing the reflection of transformation, new endings, and new beginnings and old endings, right? With the alignment of the new moon, right? It's a perfect time of the month to pause, right? Reflect on experiences and accomplishments of the previous month and prepare on a new adventure, right? Prepare yourself for new openings, right? It's a reset. It's a reset energy. New moons always deal with the divine feminine energy, right? It deals with rebirth, transformation, right? Adaptation, right? Becoming, right? All these things are associated with the cosmic reset, right? And there's a lot going on. We got 7 degrees gravity drop, right? I don't know if that's real, but I understand the 7 means God and the frequency, right? You have the meteors, perceived meteor showers also going on to the new moon. You have the planetary parade, and you have the 7 degrees drop, aka right, of gravity. So all of this is symbolic to the alignment, right? And it's all occurring in the same day, and it's all a healing energetic frequency. And we're going to make the connection to the streams of consciousness, intelligence molecules that are permeating the planet right now, right? So there will be a total solar eclipse around 1:45 today, right? August 12th. And later on in the night, we're supposed to be able to see the perceived meteor showers, right? Which is connected to the Andromeda galaxy, right? When you're talking about meteor storms, I talked about this in the previous video before, because when you understand the celestial nature of fireballs, meteorites, it's all has to do with, the perception of outer space, right? Which is actually the ocean, which is actually on the other side of the ice wall, right? Now, when you get into what's going on the planet right now, the goddess, the great mother energy, right? I wanted to talk about Taweret, right, which is the hippopotamus goddess, right? Lioness features and crocodile features as well, all amalgamated, right? Taweret is described as a goddess. She was thought to help women in labor and ward off evil spirits and demons who intended to harm the mother or baby, right? Often associated with the goddess Hathor, right? Because female sexuality, pregnancy, right? Taweret was also associated with Nut, right, the sky goddess, right, of the Ennead, because her constellation was always above the horizon. The constellations Draco and Ursa Major amalgamated, right, is the back of Taweret, right, which when I said the other day, Taweret is connected to the great mother energy, right? The hippopotamus goddess Ophiuchus, the one in the center of all zodiacs. Now, you remember in Lovecraft Country, the character, the goddess name was Hippolyta, right? And you see in this clip right here from Lovecraft Country, it's symbolic to, her expanding into her supreme self, actually having to talk with her higher self, right? Her ancestors, right? The divine feminine energy, right? It's all expansive within the universe, and it's all connected within the 9 ether goddess, right? The Amazonians, right? When you're talking about Nut, Isis, Hathor, Taweret, right? Wajet, right? Ophiuchus, Tiamat, Sekhmet, Bastet, right? Nebhet, Hawket, right? All these different divine feminine energies are archetypes of the same source, right? And it's all embodied through divine feminine energy that creates electromagnetic energy, which is electricity, right? When you're talking about ether, you're talking about electricity, thermodynamics, hydrodynamics, electromagnetic radiation, which is electromagnetism. Then you have resonance, right, which is sound, frequency, and vibration. All of that is within the ethereal network, the ethereal creation, the 369 method of the Great Mother, right? And when you're talking about the effect of this energy permeating the planet, is fireballs, right? It's meteorites, right? The ring of fire, right? That's why that earthquake has everything to. The earthquake in Colombia had everything to do with the interference, right? When you're talking about these fireballs, when you're talking about the firmament being dematerialized through different particles, ionizing particles, right? Because that earthquake in Colombia, 7.4, which equals 11 in numerology, right? Master number. It was actually on the sacral chakra, of the planet, which the sacred chakra of the planet is dealing with the goddess Isis, right? The great mother energy, right? So again, like I said, this womb creation energy, this divine magical energy is what's shaking the planet, right? And the great mother is giving birth. That's why I brought up Taweret, right? Because Isis was also known to resurrect, and she's a great mother, right? So which deals with birth. All these goddesses are connected, right? And many different pantheons, different names, right? And again, like I said, it was a Pacific ring of fire, which is symbolic to the great divine womb, right? One of the levels of creation when you're talking about the chaos beings, right? Coming out that being forged in fire, right? And they said that it was 110 deaths to 111 deaths, right? 111, 111. Regardless, you're getting the 111 or the 11 code, right? And the one is symbolic, right, in itself to photon energy or ethereal energy, the great mother. In ancient Kemet, we also thought of the solar eclipse, right, as something celestial, as something prominent, right, of when the Nile flood, right? It's a new beginning. It's a reset. This is all symbolic. And it's all working together. It's all working in symbiosis. And I think that because the sacral chakra is connected to Mount Shasta, I think California is going to actually have an earthquake or something. As you can see right here, they have already had little earthquakes, right, within the past couple of days, right? So I think the big one, the continental split, is also going to, connect, because again, there's no coincidence why the Pacific Ring of Fire, right, the symbology of it is going on around the same time that the Ring of Fire, aka the solar eclipse, right? In Comedian times, like I said, we looked at that as something divine, right? Transformation period. And the sacral chakra, where the earthquake happened, is connected to ley lines, right? Energy pathways. So again, I said that streams of intelligence are coming down to the earth, right? And it's coming through from above, it's coming from underground, under the ocean, right? And it's ethereal, right? So it's unseen. But it is streaming from what you want to call the heavens, right? When you're talking about Sirius, we just had the alignment of Sirius, right? And it's still, aka Sopet, right? Another word for Isis, right? All of this is connected to the alignment and the planetary alignments that are happening right now. Saturn, Neptune, and things like that. It's all connected to our chakra system, our alignment within us, because we are a reflection of these celestial luminaries, right? Because the universe is actually the innerverse, right? And 12 chakras, right, of the planet for August 12th, right? 12-12, Ashe. So again, family, let's just understand that everything that's happening right now is transformational. A lot of us are going through a lot of different things. A lot of new roads are opening. A lot of things are ending, right? And the trinity of self is prominent right now, right? Of Aset, Asar, right? Heru, right? Ashe, all these are archetypes, but they're also actual energies. Ashe, now it says NASA discovers a possible supernova remnant in the galactic center, right? Which is again dealing with Ophiuchus, the Draco star constellation, aka Taweret, right? Coming out of the waters, right? The primordial waters, which is in alignment with Sirius, right? In the Orion star constellation, right? Every year over 1,000 years, the ancient Egyptians watched one star, not the sun, not the moon, one star when it prepared on the horizon. When it reappeared on the horizon after weeks of being hidden, and they called it Sirius, right? The brightest star, right? The morning star, right? So it's all connected to, this energy, right? And I think Sekhmet and the energy of Sekhmet and Queen Califia, the goddess Califia, is also re-emerging right now. That's why I said tap into that fire energy. And we're in Leo right now, right? Which has a lot to do with the lioness energy. Guardians, healers, activators, anchors of light, anchors of frequencies. Let's keep rising. Let's keep healing. Let's keep rising in ascension. Ashe, transformation is here. Peace.